Thank you for joining me today. It's Brian Gubernick, and welcome to the No Days Off podcast, where we believe that every single day brings a new opportunity to get better. Just recently, I had a former work colleague of mine connect me with a friend of hers that is an entrepreneur. She had mentioned to him that I run this No Days Off podcast, and I'm into health and wealth and all of these things. And she thought we should connect because he is building an app for what's called relational fitness. And the term really caught my eye. And I had the opportunity to spend some time with him about a week ago and learn more about his app, of course, but relational fitness and what it means to him. And I want to share some of those learnings with the No Days Off Nation here today. So before I do, you may remember there's this Harvard study on happiness that we've discussed here at No Days Off before. The study is 85 years old now. It's been running for 85 years, and it's brain scans and blood draws, medical records, hundreds of people that were tracked from their teens all the way into old age. It is the most comprehensive study of adult life ever conducted. And after 85 years, if you recall, do you remember what predicted how long you'd live and how happy you'd be? It was not your genetics. It was not your cholesterol. It wasn't your income. It was the quality of your relationships. The quality of your relationships. Now, the Harvard psychiatrist that led the study, his name was Robert Waldinger, and his conclusion was that loneliness kills. And those were his exact words. He said that loneliness is as dangerous as smoking. So it prompts me to then ask you something. You have a workout routine. You probably have a financial plan. You have a business strategy. You probably track your health and your revenue and your pipeline. When did you last do anything intentional about your relationships? Well, that's what today is about based on the conversation that I had with this individual the other day. So, what is relational fitness? What am I talking about? I want you to think about it like physical fitness. So, your body doesn't stay strong on its own. You train it consistently, or it's going to deteriorate. Well, the same exact thing happens with relationships. Relational fitness is the ongoing, very intentional practice of investing in relationships, investing in the people who matter most to you. Not just having them in your life necessarily, but actually showing up for them with real time and real attention. And the problem with this is, and I think many at the, in the No Days Off Nation can relate, the problem here is that entrepreneurs like you and me are uniquely bad at this. The traits that make you great at building a business, like the drive and the focus and the sacrifice, those same traits can have an adverse impact on your relationships if you're not paying attention. Because your business ends up getting your best hours. Your business gets your sharpest thinking. It gets your energy. And sometimes the people who matter most get what's left. So let's talk about why this actually matters now, because I don't want to take this lightly. The Harvard study found that people with strong social connections had 40% slower memory decline, 40% slower memory decline than those who were isolated. Waldinger said directly, good relationships don't just protect our bodies, they protect our brains. People most satisfied in their relationships at age 50 were the healthiest at age 80. I didn't say the best cholesterol at 50 were the healthiest. I said those that were most satisfied in their relationships at 50. The data is pretty clear here. Relational fitness affects how well your brain works, how happy you are, and how long you live. In other words, relational fitness is not just this nice to have sort of thing. It's damn near mandatory. So you should be asking now, okay, great. I get it, Brian. So how do you build it? How do you build relational fitness? And I'm going to try to get pretty specific, and it's based on the conversation that I had with this entrepreneur. Number one, you got to schedule it. You've heard the old adage, if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. You've got to block time for this. I mean, you block time for workouts, you block time for your relationships. Maybe it's a date night or a standing dinner with your significant other. Maybe it's a monthly call with a close friend. Maybe it's a quarterly trip with people that matter to you. Don't leave this sort of thing to chance. Be more purposeful. Now, number two, you got to do a relationship inventory. What do I mean? Write down the 10 people that are most important to you outside of work. Write down the names of the 10 people most important to you outside of work. Then, and this might be hard for some of you, write the last time you had a real conversation with each of them. Not a text. I'm not talking about a text conversation. I'm talking about a real conversation. I don't know about you, but when I did this, some of those gaps were pretty surprising to me. Now that list is your workout plan. Number three, I want to challenge you to have one device-free meal a day. The phone away or left in the car or in another room. And instead of just having or getting rid of that device, not just get rid of that device, now actually talk to the people you're with. Again, the Harvard research is pretty clear. The quality of your attention is what makes connections real. So sitting at dinner half on your phone is not relational investment. It's just sitting near somebody. It's just proximity. So number three is one device-free meal a day. Then number four, stop waiting to reconnect. There is someone on that list that you've been meaning to call for months. You keep putting it off because you're busy or it feels awkward or whatever. Well, here's the deal. People are almost always glad to hear from you. So just make the call. Don't overthink it. Now, this one's rather personal for me because I've had two people in the past 7 or 8 years that I knew I wanted to call. I kept telling myself I was going to call, and they passed away before I called them. So not one, but two. And there's definitely some regret for me as a result of that. So stop waiting to reconnect. So the bottom line here, the people who build the most meaningful lives are not the ones who worked hardest in isolation. They're the ones that stay connected. They invested in relationships with the same discipline that they likely brought to everything else. Their physical fitness, their financial fitness, their business fitness. And now it's got to be their relational fitness. So your action item for the week, do the inventory that I was describing. Write down 10 names and then write down the last real conversation and find the biggest gap and then go make that call. That is your action item for this weekend or going into next week. That's all I have for you today. The No Days Off podcast. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, every single day brings a new opportunity to get better. So let's get after it.